Ladies and gentlemen, this is Boshamps. I'm Miller Phillips, and I've got a secret. And that secret is, we don't have one. I think we're just like every other restaurant in this industry, with the exception of one very important detail. And that's that we don't have anything to hide. Literally. So, maybe transparency is our secret. I grew up in the restaurant industry. Mom and Dad owned the Flamingo Cafe in Destin for over 20 years. And my sister and I literally grew up in that building that is Boshamps now. As a kid, I remember the sights, the sounds, and the smells of that Flamingo Cafe kitchen. But one thing I certainly will never forget is the day I met Chef Andi Bell. That was his kitchen. I remember respecting him from day one and looking at him and his work ethic and how serious he was in that kitchen and how important it was for him to get every single detail right. I just remember vividly looking up at him and thinking, that's a chef. And even today, when I bring my kids through the kitchen, I can see that same intimidation and respect in their eyes when they look up to him. I remember going to New York when I was, I think, 16 or 17 for Chef to receive his James Beard Award. Although I didn't realize the weight of it then, I knew he was the real deal. After almost 20 years in the restaurant business, Mom and Dad decided to retire, and the Flamingo closed in 2001. While I was off at college and opening another broken egg, they leased the building out and it was occupied by several restaurants from 2001 to 2011. And I got a phone call from Dad that if I wanted to come home from Birmingham to give it a shot, it was my time. I packed my dogs and my new wife up and headed back home. Even though I grew up in that fine dining atmosphere with the white tablecloths, I just wanted to be able to provide the same type of culinary experience in a more casual atmosphere. Mom and Dad and my sister all helped create that in the design and the layout and the different wood accents and everything that we put into Boshamps. It just made it more comfortable for people to come in off the beach or come in off their boat and still experience the same type of food, the same type of service, the same type of culinary experience that Chef had been putting together at the Flamingo, but at Boshamps now. I had pictures printed out and posted all over my office from different restaurants that my family and I had been to for my entire life. And I was really looking for a direction with the type of food that we were going to sell, knowing that I still kind of wanted to go back to the old Flamingo ways. I hadn't seen Chef for over 10 years, and I will never forget him popping his head around the corner and him asking me, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm opening a restaurant. What are you doing?" He asked me, "You need a chef?" And I said, "Absolutely." I could tell then, and certainly know now, that he is an incredibly, unbelievably driven, unrivaled chef. I know a lot of my servers get really excited when they have customers who say they've never been here before, because they get to go through the list of things that chef has on the menu. And then they've got something even more special that's a feature or something that he just came up with. And it's undoubtedly always going to be fantastic. So the original Snapper Destin was a staple at the Flamingo Cafe, just like it is at Boshamps now. Nothing touched the Snapper Destin back then, and nothing touches it now. And it's just such an insane list of ingredients that go into that dish that you would never expect. Mashed potatoes, greens, snapper, jumbo lump blue crab, shrimp, lemon butter and béarnaise, honey roasted nuts, but it's been working for almost 40 years. And it continues to be our most popular dish today. It's really cool to have it and a lot of the other stuff on the menu that existed at the Flamingo and that Chef created at Mom and Dad's restaurant that we're still rolling with now. And I don't think really a whole lot of restaurants, or if any at all, have that kind of story and have that kind of history. Again, I think the hardest part of our job, besides making sure that chef's food is procured and prepped and prepared and served correctly, is that we tell the story behind it and that we remain transparent in showing our guests that. But with chef standards, it's easy to be transparent about what we're doing. Because again, there's absolutely nothing to hide. I find myself looking for ways to showcase him and his talents every single day. But I'd also be remiss if I didn't understand and appreciate the team behind him that gives him what he needs to create these culinary masterpieces. From the prep crew to the production team to every single person buzzing around that kitchen, literally 24 hours a day. Without strong leadership, it would never happen. And thankfully, I have exactly that in my sous chef, Chris Davis. He understands chef. He respects and appreciates his standards, even though sometimes they seem unattainable. He sets his crew up and trains them and supports them and gives them the tools and knowledge they need to do their best not to let chef down. He has one of the hardest jobs in this building, but he has never wavered in someone I and every single person in this restaurant respects and appreciates, just like we do chef. For the first few years, Chef and Chris and I were in a constant battle over how to handle all the volume that we created. As happy as we were for people to be knocking our front door down, we had to find a way to keep up. Peeling shrimp and cutting fish on the back line while the production team was preparing for service just wasn't working. We needed more space, and we needed somewhere that we could really focus on our seafood prep and production. We knew how important it was to be able to properly accept, inspect, and prep this locally caught fresh Gulf seafood. And it was a big project, but we had to do it. And we needed people to see it. So Lucky Dog Seafood was born. Now with Lucky Dog Seafood, I can buy fish directly from fishermen that I grew up with, friends of mine, people that I trust, people that I know are gonna bring me exactly what they say they're bringing me. Fresh Gulf seafood. We want you to walk up to the restaurant and the first thing you see is us cutting your fish, peeling your shrimp, and shucking the very oysters that you came here for. And it gives you a visual confirmation on exactly what you've heard about, and that everything you're getting here is what we say it is. There are two things of my guests that I know that I absolutely cannot waste, and that is their time and their money. And that's because when people come to Boshamps, they know that they're going to have to wait a little longer than they're going to have to wait at most other restaurants. I also know that we're not the most modestly priced restaurant to dine at, but one thing is for certain, and that's that our ingredients and product is of the absolute highest quality, and that my guests leave here knowing that they got exactly what they paid for, and that it was everything that they've heard about and worth it. I would be glad to show anybody our secret anytime. I love walking guests through the kitchen and Lucky Dog Seafood and showing them what sets us apart, showing them how intricate, dedicated, and organized chefs, coolers, kitchen line, hotline, and oyster station really are. And I can guarantee you that I can show you exactly why Boshamps is different and why not having a secret truly is what's going on up here.